Hello, and welcome back to Today English Podcast. My name is Laura, and I'm here to guide you on your journey to clear, confident, and natural English. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss a lesson. Your support truly helps this channel grow. All right, take a deep breath, relax, and let's begin today's session. Listen closely, my friend, and imagine this moment with me. You wake up early in the morning, before the sun rises. The sky is still soft and dark, and everything around you is quiet. You open your window, take a deep breath, and feel a cool wind on your face. Today is not a normal day. Today is the day you start a new journey. A journey to explore new countries. A journey to explore the world. And at the same time, a journey to improve your English, step by step, naturally and slowly. Welcome to Today English Podcast, where learning English feels like taking a long, beautiful walk through a story. And today, you and I are going on an adventure together. You look at your small travel bag on the floor. It is simple. Not too heavy. Not too full. Just a few clothes, a notebook, a pen, your passport, and your phone. You do not need many things. Because this journey is not about buying things or carrying things. It is about seeing new places, meeting new people, learning new stories, and speaking English in real situations. You smile because you feel nervous. But it is a good kind of nervous. The kind that tells you something special is about to begin. As you close your door and step outside, the air feels fresh. You walk down the street slowly, listening to the simple sounds around you, the birds waking up, a bicycle passing by, a small shop opening its shutters. You are not rushing. You are not stressed. You're calm, and every step feels new. You know that life changes when you travel. You see different faces. You hear different languages. You learn how big the world truly is. And today, you will explore it with English. You reach the bus stop. Only one other person is standing there, an old man wearing a wool hat, holding a newspaper. He looks at you and nods politely. You smile. Even this small moment feels like a part of your adventure. You check your ticket. Your first destination is a country you have always wanted to see. Not because it is famous. Not because people talk about it on social media. But because deep inside, you feel curious about it. You want to see how people there live, what they eat, how they speak, how they smile. Curiosity is the first step to exploring a new country. And curiosity is also the first step to learning a language. The bus arrives slowly. You step inside and sit by the window. As the bus starts moving, you watch the familiar places pass by, the same shops, the same roads, the same houses you have seen for years. But today, they look different. Today, they feel like memories. Because when you travel, every familiar thing slowly becomes a part of your past, and every unknown thing becomes a part of your future. The bus reaches the airport. You walk inside, and everything feels bright and huge. People from many countries move around you, some speaking English, some speaking other languages. You hear announcements in English. You see signs in English. You hear conversations in English. And you understand something important. English is your bridge. English helps you connect with the world. English helps you explore every country. English helps you travel without fear. You check in your bag and hold your passport tightly. As you stand in line, you hear a young girl behind you talking to her mother. The girl says in simple English, "Mom, I am excited but also scared." Her mother laughs softly and replies, "That is normal." Everyone feels like that before a journey. You smile because you feel the same. But you take a deep breath and remind yourself, this journey is also your English practice. Every sound you hear, every sign you read, every word you speak, everything is helping you improve. You walk to the gate where your plane is waiting. A large window shows the big white aircraft standing quietly, ready to take you far away. You sit down near the window and look at the sky. Clouds move slowly. The morning light finally begins to appear. You feel a mix of feelings inside you: excitement, fear, happiness, curiosity. And then you whisper to yourself in English, slowly and clearly, "I am ready." When the gate opens, you walk forward with other passengers. The noise of the airplane engine becomes louder. The smell of the air near the plane is different, full of fuel and cold wind. You step inside, find your seat, sit down, and look around. A woman with a friendly smile sits next to you. She says, "Hello. Is this your first time traveling?" Her voice is soft, calm, and warm. You look at her and answer in simple English, "Yes, this is my first time traveling alone." She nods and says, "You will enjoy it. Traveling alone makes you stronger." The plane starts moving toward the runway. You feel a small vibration under your feet. The flight attendant speaks in English, and you listen carefully. You try to understand every sentence. You practice in your mind. You repeat the words quietly. The seat belt sign lights up. You fasten your belt. Your heart beats fast. You look outside the window as the plane begins to speed up. Faster and faster. The ground shakes. The buildings pass quickly. And then, suddenly, your stomach feels light. The plane lifts off the ground. And in that moment, everything underneath becomes small. The roads, the cars, the houses, the places you know so well. The world opens wide. And you understand something important. When you explore new countries, you are not just traveling through the world. You are traveling through your own mind. You are learning new ways to see, new ways to think, new ways to speak. You are discovering a new version of yourself. The clouds surround the plane like soft white mountains. You look at them and smile. You think about the people you will meet. You think about the food you will try. You think about the streets you will walk. You think about how much English you will practice at airports, in hotels, in markets, in conversations with strangers. Every moment is a learning moment. The woman next to you asks, "Which country are you going to?" You take a deep breath and answer, "I am going to explore a new country for the first time. I want to learn about people. I want to see their culture. And I want to practice English in real life." She smiles and says, "That is the best way to learn." When you speak English naturally, with real people, in real situations, your confidence grows fast. You look out the window again. The sky is so wide, so peaceful. And then a small thought appears in your mind. What if you get lost? What if you do not understand someone? What if you say something wrong? These small fears are normal. Everyone has them. But then you tell yourself, slowly, it is okay to make mistakes. Mistakes help me grow. You take your notebook from your bag. On the first page, you write 3 simple goals for your journey. I will listen more. I will speak without fear. I will learn something new every day. As you close the notebook, you feel stronger. You feel ready. You feel excited for the unknown. And this is where your real adventure begins. The plane lands softly. The wheels touch the ground, and you feel a small bump. The airplane slows, and then stops at the gate. You hear the announcements in English, guiding passengers to the exit. You take a deep breath, feeling both nervous and excited. Today, you will take your first steps in a completely new country. A place you have only seen in pictures or read about in books. But now, it is real. And real life is different from pictures. Real life is full of voices, smells, and movement. Real life is waiting for you. You walk down the aisle of the plane, carrying your small bag. People move around you, some speaking English, some other languages. You notice a family struggling with a map. You feel a small smile inside. You have been in their place, worrying and unsure in a new country. You remind yourself that everyone starts as a beginner. Everyone learns step by step. You step out of the airplane and into the bright, busy airport. The air smells different. Not bad, just different. You can feel it in your nose, in your lungs. You walk slowly toward immigration. The lines are long and people speak English quickly. You feel a small fear creeping in. What if you do not understand? What if you make a mistake? But then you remember the rules of this journey. Listen carefully, speak slowly, repeat if necessary. Mistakes are part of learning. At the counter, the officer looks at you with a serious face. You show your passport and ticket. He asks a few questions in English. Purpose of your visit, he says. You take a deep breath and answer, slowly, I am here to travel and learn about your country. The officer nods, smiles slightly, and stamps your passport. One small moment, but it feels like a victory. You move forward, carrying your bag, feeling a little taller, a little braver. Next, you go to collect your luggage. The carousel spins slowly, carrying bags of all shapes and colors. You wait, watching people take their bags and leave. When your small bag appears, you feel a wave of relief. You pick it up and carry it toward the exit. Outside the airport, sunlight hits your face. The city feels alive. Cars move in every direction. People talk and laugh. Advertisements flash with bright colors. Sounds of music, street noise, and voices fill the air. You breathe deeply. This is your new world. Now comes the first challenge, transportation. How do you get from the airport to your hotel? You see signs for buses, taxis, and trains. You remember your plan. Speak English. You approach a taxi driver. Hello, you say. Can you take me to this hotel? You show him the address. He looks, nods, and starts the car. You sit in the back, feeling small vibrations from the engine. The streets are different from your city. The buildings are taller, the signs are in English, the people move faster. You notice small things, the way people dress, the way they smile, the way the wind moves through the streets. During the taxi ride, you practice English in your mind. You repeat words you hear around you. Taxi, hotel, street, people, airport. Simple words. You say them slowly. You notice your mouth and tongue move differently when speaking English. You smile quietly. Learning happens in small moments, like this, during everyday actions. When the taxi stops, you step out and see your hotel. It looks simple, but welcoming. You enter, greeted by a friendly receptionist. Hello, welcome. Do you have a reservation? She asks. You answer, slowly and clearly, yes. My name is your name. I have a reservation for one night. She smiles, types on her computer, and hands you a key card. Small steps, simple English, big victories. You walk to your room. It is small but clean. A soft bed, a table, and a window looking out at the city. You place your bag down, sit on the bed, and take a deep breath. You have arrived. You have taken your first steps in a new country. And now it is time to explore. You decide to walk outside. You want to feel the city. You want to hear English in the streets. As you step onto the sidewalk, you notice people smiling at you. You notice children running and laughing. You notice small shops with colorful displays. You take your time, walking slowly, observing everything. You repeat the words you hear. Coffee, bus, street, shop, hello, thank you. Simple English, repeated naturally. You see a small cafe. The smell of fresh bread and coffee invites you inside. You enter, take a seat, and look at the menu. Everything is in English. You feel nervous. How do you order? You remember your mantra. Speak slowly, smile, and ask questions. You raise your hand, and a friendly waiter comes. Hello, what would you like? He asks. You smile and say, I would like a coffee, please. And one bread, please. He nods and smiles. You repeat quietly in your mind, coffee, bread, please. When your order arrives, you take a sip of coffee. Warm, sweet, different from what you usually drink. You take a bite of bread. Soft, fresh, delicious. You feel proud. Not because of the food, but because of the small interaction. You spoke English. You communicated. You learned a new word. You practiced a simple conversation. And it felt good. After the cafe, you continue walking. You find a small park. Children play with balls, couples sit on benches, birds fly above. You sit on a bench and open your notebook. You write about your first few hours in the new country. Simple sentences, short and clear. I am in a new country. I walked outside. I drank coffee. I spoke English. I feel happy. You pause and read what you wrote. Your handwriting is simple. Your words are simple. But your sentences are real. Real practice. Real learning. Real life. As the sun begins to set, the city changes color. Lights turn on. Streets shine. People hurry to finish their day. You feel a small excitement. Tomorrow will bring more challenges, more practice, more English. You will visit markets, meet more people, learn new words, ask questions, make mistakes, and slowly, step by step, grow. Before returning to the hotel, you stop at a small grocery store. You buy water, fruit, and some snacks. You speak English with the cashier. Hello. How much for this? You pay and say, thank you. Have a nice day. She smiles. You smile. Another small victory. When you finally return to your hotel room, you sit by the window and look at the city lights. You feel tired but happy. Your first day was simple, ordinary, yet full of learning. You spoke English in real life. You observed new places. You took your first steps in a new country. And you realized something important. Every moment is an opportunity to practice, to listen, to speak, to grow. You open your notebook one last time before sleeping. You write 3 sentences. Today I walked in a new city. Today I spoke English with strangers. Today I felt brave. You close your notebook. You close your eyes. Tomorrow, your journey continues. You will explore streets, markets, cafes, and museums. You will talk to more people. You will face new challenges. You will practice English more. And slowly, naturally, day by day, your English will grow. And that is the magic of travel. Travel is not just about moving from one country to another. Travel is about moving from fear to confidence, from silence to words, from curiosity to understanding. You are on this path now. Step by step. Word by word. Moment by moment. The next morning, the sun rises slowly, casting soft light over the city. You wake up early, just like yesterday, and take a deep breath. Today, you are ready to explore more. You put on comfortable shoes, take your bag, and step outside. The streets are already waking up. People walk to work, shops open their doors, and the city smells of fresh bread and coffee. You feel a small excitement inside you. Today is not about airports or hotels. Today is about streets, markets, and real people. Today is about practicing English naturally. As you walk down the street, you notice small details that yesterday you may not have seen. A cat sleeping in a sunbeam. A street musician playing soft music. A shop with colorful fruits stacked neatly. You stop and look carefully. You repeat the words quietly: cat, sun, music, fruit, shop, colorful. Slowly, your mouth and mind start to connect. Listening, seeing, speaking, everything works together. Soon, you reach the first market. It is alive with colors, smells, and sounds. Vendors shout softly, inviting people to buy their goods. Fresh apples. Try my oranges. Bread for today. The words are simple, but at first, they feel fast. You remind yourself, slow down, listen carefully. You walk slowly, observing and trying to understand. You hear English mixed with other languages. You notice how people smile while speaking, how they point at things, how they use hands and gestures. You understand that communication is more than words. English is part of it, but gestures, expressions, and tone are also important. You stop at a fruit stall. Bright red apples, yellow bananas, and juicy oranges sit neatly in baskets. You look at the vendor and say, slowly, hello. How much for an apple? The vendor smiles and replies, $1, please. You take one apple, hand him the money, and say, thank you. He nods, you're welcome. You bite the apple. Sweet, fresh, and crisp. You smile. Simple conversation. Small words. Big victory. Walking deeper into the market, you hear someone speaking slowly in English. A tourist is asking a shopkeeper about souvenirs. You listen carefully. You notice how the tourist asks questions, how the shopkeeper answers politely, and how both use simple words to communicate. You repeat quietly in your mind, how much? How much? Thank you. I like it. 1, 2, 3. You realize that real English is not about complicated grammar. It is about words, phrases, listening, and understanding. You move to a small street with clothes and crafts. Beautiful handmade items hang on the walls. Scarves, hats, small bags, and jewelry. You touch a scarf softly. A shopkeeper notices and says, do you like it? You reply, yes. How much is this scarf? He smiles and says, $5. You repeat quietly, $5. Scarf, yes, thank you. You pay and say, thank you. Another small victory. Each word, each sentence is practice. Each interaction builds confidence. As you walk, you notice children playing near the street. They smile and wave at you. You wave back and say slowly, hello. How are you? One child laughs and says, I am fine. And you? You respond, I am fine. Thank you. A small conversation, but it feels wonderful. You realize English is not just for adults or teachers. It is for everyone. Every word you say opens a door to connection. Next, you move to a small cafe inside the market. You sit near a window, watching people pass by. You order tea, saying slowly, hello. 1 tea, please. The waitress smiles and replies, sure. While waiting, you observe carefully. People talk, laugh, and buy things. You notice words you know and words you do not know. You do not panic. Instead, you smile and repeat slowly what you recognize. Tea, coffee, apple, bag, hello, thank you. Each word becomes stronger in your mind. Your tea arrives. Warm, soft, comforting. You sip slowly and think about your morning. You have spoken English with 3 different people already. You have listened to dozens of words. You have practiced greetings, questions, and numbers. You feel proud. Learning is happening naturally. Learning is happening through experience. Not books, not videos, not grammar rules. Real life is the best teacher. After tea, you continue exploring the market. You find a small street with souvenirs from the country, small magnets, postcards, traditional items. You pick up a postcard and ask the shopkeeper, where can I send this? She points to the small post office nearby and says, just there. You can post it easily. You smile and say, thank you. Have a nice day. You leave the shop and walk to the post office. At the post office, you speak to the clerk slowly. Hello. I want to send this postcard. He nods and asks, to which country? You respond, to my country. Please. He stamps the postcard and smiles. All done. It will arrive in a week. You say, thank you very much. You feel small happiness. Each conversation, each sentence, each question, each answer, English becomes a tool to connect with the world. You leave the post office and walk back through the market. Now you are more confident. You speak softly to yourself, practicing sentences. I like this. How much is this? Thank you. Excuse me. Hello. You notice that your pronunciation feels a little better. Your listening feels a little sharper. Your confidence grows. Slowly, step by step, your English is improving. The sun moves higher in the sky. The market becomes busier. People hurry, children run, vendors shout. You sit on a small bench and breathe. You watch everything around you and feel a small realization. Learning English is like exploring this market. At first, it is noisy, confusing, and overwhelming. But if you take it slowly, observe carefully, and speak naturally, every word becomes easier. Every sentence becomes natural. Every conversation becomes enjoyable. You take your notebook and write. Today, I walked in the market. I spoke English with vendors. I asked questions. I said thank you. I sent a postcard. I feel more confident. You close your notebook and smile. You feel happy. Not because you spoke perfectly, but because you spoke. Not because you understood everything, but because you listened. Not because you knew every word, but because you tried. As you leave the market, you feel ready for the next adventure. You know that tomorrow will bring new streets, new shops, new people, and new opportunities to practice English. And slowly, day by day, your confidence will grow. Your vocabulary will grow. Your listening skills will grow. And your journey, both in travel and in English, will continue, step by step, moment by moment. Before returning to the hotel, you stop at a small street stand selling fresh juice. You order slowly, 1 orange juice, please. The vendor smiles and asks, do you want ice? You say, yes, please. He pours juice into a small cup and hands it to you. You take a sip. Sweet, refreshing, alive. You smile. Another simple conversation, another practice moment, another small victory. As you walk back to the hotel, the afternoon sun warms your face. You repeat quietly the words you learned today. Market, shop, tea, postcard, juice, hello, thank you, ice. Each word, each sentence, each moment adds to your English. And you realize something important. Learning a language is not about studying every day for hours. It is about practicing naturally. It is about living. It is about curiosity. It is about taking small steps again and again. When you reach the hotel, you sit by the window and look at the city. The streets you walked today are alive in your memory. The voices, the sounds, the smells, the people, they all form a small story. Your story. Your English story. You write in your notebook. Today I explored streets and markets. I spoke English. I listened. I practiced. I learned. I felt happy. You close your notebook. You close your eyes. You feel grateful. You feel excited. You feel ready for tomorrow. Because tomorrow will bring new streets, new cafes, new shops, and new conversations. And with every step, every word, every sentence, your English grows naturally, slowly, beautifully. The next morning, you wake up early again. You feel excited. Today is different. Today is about meeting people, not just passing by strangers or speaking at a shop. Today is about conversations, smiles, and friendship. You take a deep breath, pack your small bag, and step outside. The streets are quieter than yesterday morning. The city is waking slowly, but already alive. People walk to work, children go to school, and small cafes begin to open. As you walk down the street, you remember a lesson. Speaking English is easier when you are curious and friendly. You smile at people passing by, and some smile back. You greet a woman walking her dog, good morning. She responds, good morning. Lovely day, isn't it? You feel a small happiness. English is not just words. English is connection. Soon, you reach a small park. The sun shines softly, the air is fresh, and you see people jogging, walking, or sitting on benches. You notice a young man reading a book in English. You feel nervous for a moment. Should you speak to him? But then you remember, every small conversation is practice. You take a step closer and say slowly, hello. What book are you reading? He looks up, smiles, and says, hello. It is a travel book about your country. I like learning about different places. You feel your heart beat faster. A real conversation in English. You respond, slowly and clearly, oh, that is interesting. I am from that country. Do you like it? He nods, yes. I like the culture, food, and language. I want to visit one day. You smile and say you should. It is beautiful. And people are friendly. The conversation continues naturally. You ask small questions. Where do you live? How long have you studied English? What do you like to do? And he answers. You listen carefully, nodding, repeating some words quietly in your mind. Culture, food, friendly, visit, study, like. After a while, you realize something important. English is not about knowing every word. English is about trying, listening, asking questions, and understanding. You do not need perfect grammar. You do not need perfect pronunciation. You just need curiosity and courage. And right now, you're practicing both. Next, you walk to a small cafe near the park. The bell rings softly as you enter. A group of young people is sitting at a table, laughing and talking. You feel nervous, but take a deep breath. You approach slowly and ask, hello. Can I sit here? One of them smiles and says, of course. Sit down. You sit, feeling a little shy. They introduce themselves, slowly and clearly. My name is Sarah. This is John and Emily. Where are you from? You answer, I am from your country. I am here to travel and practice English. They smile. That's great. Sarah says, we love meeting travelers. Where have you visited so far? You tell them about yesterday, the streets, the market, the cafe, the post office. You speak slowly, using simple sentences. Yesterday, I walked in the market. I spoke English. I sent a postcard. I bought apples. I drank tea. They listen carefully, nodding, smiling. You feel a warm feeling inside. You are understood. Your words have meaning. Your English is real. John asks, what do you like most about this country so far? You think for a moment and answer slowly, I like people. People are friendly. I like the streets and food. And I like practicing English every day. Emily smiles, yes. Meeting people is the best way to learn. You learn words, phrases, and confidence. During this conversation, you notice small details. How they speak slowly when they know you are learning English. How they repeat words if you do not understand. How they use gestures to help meaning. You realize this is an important lesson. Speaking English is about connection, not perfection. People want to understand and be understood. And when you speak slowly, smile, and ask questions, communication happens naturally. Pizza, pasta, local, fruits. You repeat them softly in your mind. This is how vocabulary grows, through repetition in real situations. The day continues with small conversations, smiles, and laughter. You ask questions, answer questions, and listen carefully. Sometimes you do not understand a word. That is okay. You ask politely, excuse me, what does that mean? They explain simply. You repeat it in your mind. You feel proud. You are learning naturally. You are speaking naturally. You are living English. Before returning to your hotel, you sit on a small bench and reflect. You think about the day, the young man in the park, the people in the cafe, the street art, the ice cream shop. You realize that real English learning is not just listening to lessons or repeating phrases at home. Real learning happens in small moments like these: walking, talking, laughing, asking questions, making mistakes, and understanding slowly. You take your notebook and write. Today, I met new people. I spoke English with them. I asked questions. I listened. I laughed. I learned new words. I feel happy and confident. You close the notebook. You close your eyes. You feel grateful for the day. You feel proud of yourself. You feel excited for tomorrow. Because tomorrow will bring new streets, new shops, new conversations, and new adventures. And step by step, word by word, your English will grow stronger, naturally and beautifully. The next morning, the city feels calm and quiet. You wake up early again, excited for a new kind of adventure. Today is about culture. Today is about museums, history, art, and stories from the past. You take a deep breath, pack your small bag, and step outside. The streets are soft with morning light. You walk slowly, observing the people and buildings. Everything feels new and interesting. As you approach the first museum, you notice the large doors, the signs in English, and the people entering. Some speak English clearly, others speak softly in their own language. You remind yourself, English is your tool, your bridge. You can understand and connect with the world using it. You step inside, holding your bag close and taking slow, careful steps. The museum is quiet, almost peaceful. Soft music plays in the background. You walk slowly through the entrance hall. Large paintings and sculptures surround you. You read the signs in English. They describe the art, the history, the culture. You repeat the words quietly in your mind: painting, sculpture, history, culture, museum, artist. Slowly, your vocabulary grows, not from a book, but from real life. You notice a guide giving a tour in English. You join quietly at the back. The guide speaks slowly and clearly. This painting shows life in the city 100 years ago. People worked hard. They walked in streets like these. Children played near rivers. Families were happy, and life was simple. You listen carefully, repeating some words in your mind: painting, city, children, river, family, happy, simple. You smile. Real English is everywhere, in stories, in descriptions, in life. Next, you move to a small section about traditional clothes. Mannequins wear colorful dresses and hats. Signs describe their history. You read slowly. This dress is from the North region. People wore it during festivals. Colors are bright. Fabric is soft. You repeat quietly: dress, North, festival, colors, fabric, soft. You notice a young woman near you reading the same sign. You smile and say, slowly, hello. I like this dress. It is beautiful. She smiles and replies, yes, it is very colorful. I like the fabric. You nod and say, I like it too. Another small conversation. Another small victory. You walk to a section about music and instruments. Soft sounds of a flute fill the air. Small drums and string instruments are displayed. You read signs in English: flute, drum, guitar, music, rhythm, sound. You try to pronounce the words slowly. Flute, drum, guitar, rhythm, sound. You notice that your tongue moves differently for some words. You repeat quietly: flute, drum, rhythm. Step by step, your pronunciation improves. A guide comes near and notices you reading the signs. She says, hello. Are you interested in music? You smile and reply slowly, yes. I like music. I want to learn the words in English. She nods, that is great. You can try the instruments over there. Play and feel the music. You move toward the small area with instruments. You pick up a drum and tap slowly. You say softly, drum, tap, sound, music. You feel the words connect to action. Learning English can be physical too. After exploring instruments, you move to a small section about traditional food. Large photos show local dishes. Signs describe ingredients and preparation. Rice, fish, vegetables, spices, sweet, salty, delicious. You repeat quietly: rice, fish, vegetables, spices, sweet, salty, delicious. A young man near you smiles and says, do you like food? You answer slowly, yes, I like food. I want to try these dishes. He nods, you should. They are very tasty. Another small conversation, more practice, more confidence. You walk to a painting showing people dancing at a festival. The guide explains slowly. People celebrate with music, food, and dance. Families come together. Children play. Everyone is happy. You repeat quietly. Celebrate, music, dance, families, children, happy. You notice that simple words tell powerful stories. English does not need to be complicated. Real meaning is simple. After a while, you sit on a small bench in the museum. You think about the day. You have walked through history, music, art, and food. You have spoken English with two people. You have listened to a guide and repeated many words quietly. You realize something important. Learning English is not about memorizing grammar rules. It is about observing, listening, speaking, and connecting. Step by step, experience by experience, your English grows. You take your notebook from your bag and write. Today I visited a museum. I saw paintings, music, clothes, and food. I spoke English with people. I listened and repeated words. I learned and felt happy. After the museum, you decide to visit a small cafe nearby. You sit outside, order a tea, and observe the streets. People walk, children play, and vendors sell goods. You speak slowly to the waiter, hello. 1 tea, please. He smiles, sure. Do you want sugar? You answer, yes, please. Thank you. Small sentences. Small words. Big practice. While sipping tea, you recall the vocabulary from the museum. Painting, sculpture, history, dress, music, drum, rice, fish, dance, happy. You repeat quietly in your mind. You notice that your vocabulary is growing naturally. It is not forced. It is not boring. It comes from real experience, real life, and curiosity. Later, you walk through a small street filled with souvenirs related to culture. Small items, postcards, and crafts. You ask the shopkeeper slowly, hello. How much is this postcard? She answers, $2. You reply, thank you. Another small interaction, another small victory. As the sun begins to set, you walk back to your hotel slowly. You reflect on the day, the museum, the music, the food, the people, the conversations, and the words. You feel proud. Not because you spoke perfectly. Not because you understood everything. But because you tried. You listened. You spoke. You learned naturally. You practiced English without fear. And that is the most important lesson. Before sleeping, you open your notebook again and write. Today I learned English through culture. I spoke with people. I listened to words. I repeated words. I feel happy and confident. Learning is everywhere. You close your notebook. You look out of the window at the city lights. You smile. You feel grateful. You feel excited. Tomorrow will bring new streets, new people, new shops, new food, new adventures. And step by step, moment by moment, your English will continue to grow, naturally and beautifully. The next morning, you wake up feeling ready. Today will be full of surprises. Streets, small shops, public transport, everything can become a classroom. You take a deep breath, pack your bag, and step outside. The city is alive, and the streets feel full of possibilities. You smile quietly. Today, your English will be tested and strengthened naturally. As you walk down the street, you notice a bus stop. You need to go to a famous local market across the city. A challenge appears. How to take the bus. You approach a small sign, written in English. It shows numbers, stops, and schedules. You study carefully, repeating the words quietly. Bus, stop, number, ticket, station, next, last, now. You feel nervous. What if you choose the wrong bus? What if you do not understand the driver? But then you remind yourself, challenges are part of learning. Mistakes are welcome. Curiosity is your guide. You step closer to a person standing near the bus stop and ask slowly, "Excuse me, which bus goes to the market?" The man smiles and replies clearly, "Take bus number 5. It will go there in 10 minutes. You nod and say, "Thank you very much." Small conversation, simple words, real practice. You feel a little proud. Already, you are solving a problem using English. Soon, bus number 5 arrives. You climb the steps and pay the fare. You ask the driver slowly, "Is this bus going to the market?" He nods and says, "Yes, next stop." You take a seat and feel your heart beat faster. Real English in real life. Every word matters. Every sentence matters. During the ride, you observe carefully. People speak, smile, point, and move. Some speak English, some other languages. You focus on the English phrases you hear. "Excuse me," "Stop here," "Thank you," "One ticket please," "Where is the market?" You repeat quietly, practicing pronunciation. "Excuse me," "Stop," "Thank you," "Ticket," "Market." Step by step, word by word, your vocabulary grows. When the bus stops, you step off and see the market. Large, colorful, and busy. Vendors shout, "Fresh vegetables, apples, bread." You walk slowly, listening. You smile. English is everywhere. Words connect to action. Words connect to life. You repeat softly, "Vegetables, apples, bread, fresh, market." You notice a small shop selling handmade bags. You want to look inside. A challenge appears. How to ask the price politely. You take a deep breath and ask slowly, "Hello. How much is this bag?" The shopkeeper smiles, $10. You say, "Thank you. Can I see another color?" She shows you another bag. You repeat quietly, "Bag, color, $10. See, thank you." Small words, small sentences, real learning. Next, you decide to buy something to eat. A small vendor sells sandwiches. You step closer and ask slowly, "Hello. One sandwich, please. Cheese and tomato." The vendor nods, smiles, and hands it to you. You pay and say, "Thank you. Have a nice day." Another small interaction. Another small victory. Walking further, you notice a lost child crying near a stall. Your heart beats faster. What can you do? English is your tool. You step closer and ask slowly, "Hello. Are you lost?" The child nods yes. You speak gently, "Do you know your parents?" "Where is your mom?" The child points slowly, "There, near the fruit stall." You hold the child's hand and walk slowly toward the mother, speaking gently in English. Your child was lost. I helped. The mother smiles and thanks you. "Thank you very much." You smile and nod. Small action, big learning. English can help in real problems. After this experience, you feel proud and confident. You continue exploring the market. You speak English naturally, asking questions, thanking people, observing signs, and listening carefully. You notice new words: fresh, juice, bakery, chicken, fish, busy, street, help, lost. Each word connects to life. Each word connects to learning. You stop at a small cafe near the market. You sit, order tea slowly. "Hello. One tea, please. Milk and sugar." The waitress smiles, "Sure. Coming." While waiting, you observe people. Tourists ask questions. Shopkeepers answer. Children laugh and play. You notice gestures, tone, and expressions. English is not only words. English is life, movement, and connection. Your tea arrives. Warm and fragrant. You sip slowly, thinking about the day. Challenges appeared, finding the bus, asking questions, helping a lost child, but you used English. You solved problems, communicated, and connected. You repeat quietly, "Bus, market, lost, child, help, tea, thank you. Each word feels stronger now. After tea, you walk to a small bookstore. You look at English books with simple stories. You ask the shopkeeper slowly, hello. Do you have books for beginners? She smiles and shows you a small section. You pick one and say, thank you. How much is this book? She answers, $5. You pay and smile, another small victory. Learning English is not only through conversation, it is also through reading and observing. As the afternoon sun begins to fall, you walk back to your hotel slowly. Streets are busy, people move quickly, but you walk calmly. You reflect on the day, the bus challenge, the market, helping the child, conversations, tea, and bookstore. Each small moment was practice. Each small action was learning. Before sleeping, you open your notebook and write. Today I solved problems using English. I asked for help. I spoke with shopkeepers. I helped a child. I listened and repeated words. I feel confident and happy. You close your notebook. You close your eyes. You realize something important. English is not just a subject. It is a tool for life. Every street, every shop, every interaction is a lesson. Step by step, word by word, your confidence grows. Step by step, life becomes your classroom. And tomorrow, new challenges, new streets, and new adventures await. The next morning, the city wakes slowly. You feel excited. Today is about stories. Not just reading or listening. Today is about speaking, practicing sentences, asking questions, and sharing experiences. You take your small bag, step outside, and walk toward a cozy cafe you noticed yesterday. Soft sunlight falls on the streets. The city feels alive and inviting. As you enter the cafe, the smell of fresh coffee and baked bread greets you. You see people sitting at small tables, talking, reading, or working on laptops. You take a deep breath and choose a small table near the window. Sitting here, you feel calm. You remember your goal. Today, you will practice English through storytelling. You will talk, ask questions, and listen carefully. The waitress comes to your table. You smile and say slowly, hello. 1 coffee, please. Milk and sugar. She nods, smiles, and asks, do you want a small or a large? You answer, small, please. Thank you. Simple words. Small sentences. Real practice. You feel proud. As you wait, you notice a young woman sitting nearby. She has a notebook and a pen. She writes something quietly, then looks around. You feel nervous for a moment. Should you speak to her? But curiosity wins. You smile and say slowly, hello. What are you writing? She looks up, smiles, and replies, hello. I am writing a story about my city. I like writing and practicing English. You feel excited. This is a perfect chance to practice storytelling. You respond slowly, oh, I like stories too. I travel and learn English. I want to share my experiences. She smiles and nods. That is great. Can you tell me about your day yesterday? You take a deep breath and start speaking slowly, clearly, and naturally. Yesterday, I walked in the market. I spoke English with shopkeepers. I bought apples, drank tea, and helped a lost child. I also visited a small museum. I saw paintings, clothes, music, and food. I spoke with people and learned many new words. I felt happy and confident. She listens carefully, nodding, and occasionally smiles. That is wonderful. You are brave. Your English is very clear. Can you tell me more about helping the child? You smile and continue, yes. The child was near a stall, crying. I asked slowly, are you lost? The child nodded. I asked, where's your mom? The child pointed. I walked with the child to the mother and said, your child was lost. I helped. She thanked me. I felt proud. She clapped softly, very good. You used English naturally. You spoke slowly, politely, and clearly. That is how you learn. That is how English grows. You feel a warm feeling inside. Real practice, real connection, real learning. Next, she asks, do you like stories about people? You nod yes. I like listening and speaking about people's lives. It helps me learn English and understand culture. She smiles, let's practice together. I will tell a story and you can ask questions. She begins, last year I traveled to a small village. People there grow rice and vegetables. Children play in the fields. Families cook together. Life is simple but happy. You listen carefully and repeat quietly. Village, rice, vegetables, children, fields, families, simple, happy. Then you ask slowly, how long did you stay there? She answers, 1 week. I learned about their culture and daily life. You nod, that is wonderful. I want to visit one day. You notice something important. Storytelling in English is not about complicated sentences. It is about simple words, clear sentences, listening carefully, and asking questions. Step by step, conversation grows naturally. After a while, you take your turn to tell a story. You speak slowly. One day, I traveled to the museum. I saw paintings and clothes. I listened to music. I spoke with shopkeepers and tourists. I learned new words and practiced English. I felt happy and confident. She smiles, very good. You spoke clearly. You repeated key words. That is how beginners become confident. That is how B1 English learners improve. You continue the conversation. You ask her questions. What did you like most in the village? How did you communicate with people? Did you learn new words? She answers slowly, and you listen carefully. You repeat words in your mind. Village, communicate, people, words, listen, learn. Each repetition strengthens your memory. Each question improves your speaking. The waitress comes to refill your coffee. You smile and say slowly, thank you. This is very nice. She smiles back, you're welcome. Another small interaction. Another small practice. After finishing coffee, you sit quietly for a few minutes. You reflect on the day. You realize that storytelling is powerful. It allows you to use English naturally. You do not need perfect grammar. You do not need complicated words. You need curiosity, patience, and courage. By telling stories, asking questions, and listening carefully, your vocabulary grows, your sentences improve, and your confidence increases. You take your notebook and write. Today, I practiced storytelling. I listened to stories. I asked questions. I told my story. I repeated words. I spoke slowly. I feel confident and happy. As the afternoon sun warms the streets, you step outside the cafe. You walk slowly, repeating words in your mind. Story, people, village, museum, market, coffee, happy, confident, learn, speak. Each word is alive, connected to real experience. You notice children playing near the fountain. You smile and say slowly, hello. How are you? They answer, we are fine. And you? You respond, I am fine. Thank you. Another simple conversation, another small victory. You feel your English growing naturally through interaction, storytelling, and listening. Before returning to the hotel, you take one last walk around the streets. Shops, cafes, and small streets feel familiar now. Words you learned yesterday and today repeat in your mind. Step by step, street by street, conversation by conversation, your English grows. You repeat softly, hello, thank you, story, question, answer, people, learn, confident, happy. Finally, you reach the hotel and sit by the window. You write in your notebook. Today, I practiced storytelling. I spoke with people. I asked questions. I listened and repeated words. I learned English naturally. I feel happy and confident. I am improving every day. You close your notebook. You close your eyes. You feel proud. You feel grateful. You feel ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow will bring new adventures, new streets, new stories, and new conversations. And step by step, moment by moment, your English will continue to grow beautifully and naturally. The next morning, you wake up early, feeling excited and a little nervous. Today, you are going outside the city to visit a nearby village known for its beautiful landscapes and local culture. You pack your small bag carefully. Water, snacks, a notebook, and your English confidence. You take a deep breath. Traveling outside the city will bring new challenges, new people, and new opportunities to practice English. You step outside the hotel and walk to the bus station. The streets are quieter than yesterday, but already busy with people going to work or school. You study the signs at the bus station. Routes, numbers, and destinations are written in English. You read slowly. Ticket, bus, station, destination, arrival, departure, schedule, platform. Each word is familiar from previous practice. You repeat quietly, ticket, bus, platform, schedule. Step by step, your confidence grows. A small challenge appears. How do you buy the ticket? You approach a counter and see a clerk. Your heart beats faster. You speak slowly, clearly. Hello. One ticket to the village, please. The clerk smiles, types on the computer, and asks, round trip or one way? You pause and think. Then you answer slowly, round trip, please. Thank you. He hands you the ticket and says, bus leaves in 20 minutes from platform 3. You nod and repeat quietly, round trip. Platform 3 leaves. 20 minutes. Another small victory. You wait on the platform, observing people. Some speak English, some other languages. You notice words like departure, arrival, ticket, seat, bus, luggage. You repeat softly in your mind. Observing and repeating helps your listening and vocabulary. When the bus arrives, you step carefully, greet the driver. Hello. Does this bus go to the village? He smiles and nods, yes. Next stop. You take a seat and feel a small thrill. Real English in real life. Every word counts. Every question matters. During the ride, you look outside the window. The city slowly fades into small roads, green fields, and distant mountains. Villages appear with small houses, people working in fields, and children playing. You repeat quietly, village, fields, children, houses, mountains, green, road, bus. Step by step, your vocabulary grows naturally. A young woman sits next to you. She speaks slowly and smiles. Hello. Are you going to the village too? You reply slowly, yes. I want to see the village and practice English. She nods, that is great. I am going too. It is my first visit too. Let's talk on the way. Conversation begins naturally. You ask slowly, how long does it take? She answers, about 1 hour. The road is beautiful. You will enjoy it. You nod, repeating quietly, 1 hour, road, beautiful, enjoy. Step by step, your listening and speaking improve. You ask, what do you like in villages? She replies, I like the calm, the nature, and the people. Life is simple. Everyone is friendly. You respond slowly, yes. I like calm, nature, and friendly people. I am excited to see it. Each word is practiced, repeated, and remembered. As the bus moves, small challenges appear. Sometimes you do not understand a word. Sometimes someone speaks quickly. You take a deep breath and ask politely, excuse me, can you repeat that? They smile and repeat slowly. You repeat quietly in your mind. Mistakes and questions are part of learning. After an hour, the bus stops near the village. You step down carefully. Fresh air fills your lungs. The smell of grass, flowers, and earth is new. The village is small, peaceful, and alive. People smile and greet you. You respond slowly, hello. Good morning. They nod and smile back. English opens the first door to connection. You walk slowly, observing everything. Small houses, children playing, farmers working, animals in the fields. You repeat quietly, house, child, farmer, field, animal, play, work, morning, hello. Each word becomes real, connected to life. A local vendor sells fresh fruit. You approach slowly, hello. How much for the apples? The vendor replies, $3 for 1 kilo. You nod, thank you. I will take 1 kilo. Small sentences, simple words, big practice. You smile, feeling proud. Next, you decide to explore a small path leading to a river. A small challenge appears, how to ask for directions politely. You approach a man sitting near the path and ask slowly, excuse me, how can I go to the river? He smiles, points, and says, go straight, then turn left at the big tree. You will see it. You repeat quietly, straight, left, tree, river, sea. Step by step, your comprehension improves. Walking along the path, you see children fishing, women washing clothes, and birds flying. You greet the people slowly, hello. Good morning. They respond kindly. You ask small questions, what are you doing? They answer simply. You repeat the words quietly, fishing, washing, birds, morning, hello. Vocabulary grows naturally through observation and interaction. At the river, the view is beautiful. Water flows gently. Children laugh and play. Birds sing. You take a deep breath, feeling calm and happy. You sit on a small rock and open your notebook. You write, today I traveled outside the city. I bought a bus ticket. I asked for directions. I explored the village. I spoke English with people. I repeated new words. I feel confident and happy. You pause and reflect. Traveling outside the city was a challenge. You used English for tickets, directions, buying food, greetings, and conversations. Each step, each word, each question, each answer helped you practice naturally. Challenges become opportunities when you use English to connect and communicate. After some time, you decide to return to the village bus stop. You ask a local slowly, excuse me, where's the bus back to the city? They point and explain clearly. You follow the instructions, board the bus, and greet the driver. Hello. Bus to the city, please. He nods. Another small conversation, another small victory. During the ride back, you look outside the window. Fields, mountains, and small houses pass by. You repeat quietly, bus, city, return, road, house, field, mountain. Each word, each sentence, each interaction strengthens your English naturally. As the city appears again, you feel proud. Today, you faced challenges, solved problems, spoke English naturally, and connected with people. You realize something important. Real English learning happens in life, not just in classrooms. Every street, every bus, every shop, every question, and every conversation is practice. Before sleeping, you write in your notebook. Today, I traveled outside the city. I spoke English with strangers. I asked questions. I bought things. I found the river. I returned safely. I learned many words. I feel confident and happy. You close your notebook. You close your eyes. You feel grateful, proud, and excited. Tomorrow will bring new streets, new shops, new people, and new adventures. Step by step, word by word, your English will continue to grow naturally and beautifully. The day is slowly ending. You return to your hotel feeling tired but happy. Your legs ache a little from walking, but your mind feels alive. Today was full of experiences, challenges, and opportunities to practice English naturally. You take a deep breath and think about everything that happened today. Reflection is part of learning, and tonight will be your time to reflect, speak, and connect your thoughts into English sentences. You sit by the window, looking at the city lights. Streets are alive, people are walking, and cars pass slowly. You take out your notebook and open it. You start writing slowly in simple English. Today, I traveled outside the city. I took a bus. I asked for directions. I visited a village. I spoke English with people. I bought apples. I saw a river. I helped myself practice English. I feel happy and confident. Writing is practice too. Each word you write strengthens your memory. Each sentence helps your mind connect ideas in English. You read your writing slowly, aloud. Today I traveled outside the city. I took a bus. I asked for directions. I visited a village. Each word feels stronger when spoken. Each sentence sounds natural. After a few minutes, you decide to practice storytelling. You imagine explaining your day to a friend in English. You speak slowly and clearly. Hello. Today I went outside the city. I took a bus to a small village. The bus was long, but beautiful. I asked people for directions. I bought apples from a vendor. I saw children playing near the river. I listened, spoke, and practiced English all day. I feel very happy. Speaking aloud feels good. You notice small mistakes, but you do not worry. Mistakes are part of learning. You repeat your sentences slowly, correcting pronunciation. Bus, village, vendor, apples, river, children, practice, happy, step by step. Words feel natural in your mouth. Step by step, confidence grows. Next, you call a friend or family member back home, or imagine a conversation. You speak slowly. Hello. How are you? I am fine. Today I traveled outside the city. I saw a village. I took a bus. I spoke English with people. I bought apples. I practiced English. I feel happy. How are you? You pause and listen. Even if no one responds, speaking in sentences is practice. After practicing storytelling, you take your notebook again. You write down new words learned today. Bus, village, river, field, children, apple, vendor, ticket, direction, street, mountain, practice, confident, happy. You repeat the words slowly, aloud. Bus, village, river, field, children, apple, vendor, ticket, direction, street, mountain, practice, confident, happy. Each word is connected to a real experience. This is how vocabulary sticks, through observation, experience, and repetition. After writing, you reflect quietly. You think about your day, the bus ride, the village, the river, the conversations, the purchases, the words learned. You smile. You realize that learning English is not only about listening or reading. It is about doing, observing, speaking, and reflecting. Life itself is a teacher, and English is your tool to understand and connect. You practice another small exercise. You imagine asking questions about your day in English. What did I do today? I traveled outside the city. Who did I speak with? I spoke with people on the bus, vendors, and villagers. What did I learn? I learned new words, phrases, and confidence. How did I feel? I felt happy and proud. What will I do tomorrow? I will explore more, speak more, and practice English naturally. Answering these questions aloud helps your mind organize thoughts in English. It strengthens sentence formation and fluency. You feel your speaking becoming smoother, more natural, and more confident. Next, you decide to practice small dialogues. You imagine conversations with a vendor, a child, a bus driver, and a friend. You speak slowly, clearly, and naturally. Hello. How much is this? Thank you. Are you lost? Can I help you? Does this bus go to the city? Thank you. Hello. Today I went to a village. I saw a river. I bought apples. I spoke English. I feel happy. You repeat these dialogues several times. Slowly, then a little faster. You notice that speaking becomes easier, words flow naturally, and confidence grows. After this, you write a small reflection in your notebook. Today I reflected on my day. I spoke English aloud. I asked questions. I practiced storytelling. I repeated words. I feel confident and happy. Learning English is natural, step by step. Every day is a new opportunity to speak, listen, and practice. Finally, you close your notebook and take a few deep breaths. You look out of the window at the city lights. You feel grateful. You feel proud. You feel ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow will bring new streets, new people, new shops, and new adventures. Step by step, moment by moment, your English will continue to grow beautifully and naturally. As you lie down to sleep, you repeat quietly in your mind. Bus, village, river, children, apples, vendor, street, mountain, practice, confident, happy, speak, listen, learn. You smile. You feel calm. You feel excited. Learning English is not about speed or perfection. It is about experience, reflection, repetition, and connection. And tonight, your mind is full of words, sentences, and small victories. Tomorrow is another day to practice, explore, and grow. Night falls softly over the city. The streets are quiet, but not empty. Lights glow from windows, cars pass slowly, and the soft hum of distant voices fills the air. You step outside for a short walk before bed, notebook in hand, ready to observe and practice English in a calm, reflective way. Nighttime brings small experiences that teach patience, listening, and curiosity, essential skills for learning English naturally. As you walk slowly, you notice small shops closing for the day. The shopkeepers wave and smile. You greet them slowly, "Good evening." "Have a nice night." They respond warmly, "Good evening." You too. Simple words, small sentences, yet meaningful. You repeat quietly, "Good evening," "Nice night," you too. Step by step, your vocabulary grows. You walk past a small playground. Children laugh softly, playing tag under the dim lights. A father watches nearby. You feel curious. How do you start a conversation politely at night? You approach slowly and ask, "Hello. Are these your children?" The father smiles, replying slowly, "Yes." "How are you?" You respond, "I am fine." "Thank you." They are playing well. Small dialogue, polite sentences, natural practice. You repeat quietly, "Children, play, fine, thank you, well." Walking further, you notice a small cafe with soft lights. A few people are sitting outside, chatting quietly. You think, this is another opportunity to practice English, even at night. You walk inside and greet the waitress. "Hello. Can I have a tea, please?" She smiles, "Of course." "Milk and sugar." You respond, "Yes, please." "Thank you." Another interaction. Another chance to use English naturally. As you sip tea slowly, you observe the people around. Two tourists sit nearby, speaking English. You listen carefully, noticing words and phrases. "Where is the nearest station?" "How much is a ticket?" "We enjoyed the city today." You repeat quietly, "Station, ticket, enjoyed, city, today." Listening at night, even casually, strengthens comprehension and pronunciation. Next, you practice asking questions quietly to yourself, imagining a conversation. What did I see today? What did I learn? Who did I speak with? What new words did I hear? You answer slowly, "I saw a village." "I learned words about streets, river, apples, bus, children. I spoke with people. I repeated words. I feel happy and confident. Questions and answers connect thoughts naturally in English, building fluency. You notice small details around you, a cat walking silently, a man watering plants, lights reflecting on the street. You practice describing them aloud. The cat is small. The man waters plants. Lights are bright. Street is quiet. Night is calm. Short, simple sentences, but meaningful. Observation connects words to life. A neighbor walks by with a dog. You greet slowly. Hello. What is your dog's name? He smiles and replies, Max. You respond slowly. Hello, Max. Nice dog. Small words, small sentences, natural learning. Repeating these simple exchanges quietly in your mind reinforces vocabulary and sentence patterns. Next, you sit on a small bench near the park. You reflect on your day and practice storytelling aloud. Today, I traveled outside the city. I took a bus to a village. I bought apples. I saw children playing. I walked to the river. I spoke English with villagers. I listened, repeated words, and felt happy. Speaking aloud at night strengthens fluency, memory, and confidence. You notice a small challenge. Sometimes words escape your mind, or pronunciation feels tricky. You pause, repeat slowly, and say aloud, village, river, children, apples, bus. Speak, listen, happy, confident, learn. Repetition in context is powerful. Vocabulary becomes natural, embedded in experience, not just memorized. A small thought comes to mind. Learning English is like walking at night. You move slowly, observe carefully, ask questions, repeat words, and gradually the path becomes clear. Every small interaction, every question, every sentence adds light to your learning. Step by step, the dark becomes familiar. Words become friends. Sentences become tools. Confidence grows naturally. Before heading back to your hotel, you decide to ask one more question to yourself and practice speaking. What will I do tomorrow to practice English? You answer slowly. Tomorrow I will explore new streets. I will speak with shopkeepers and neighbors. I will ask questions. I will listen carefully. I will repeat words. I will tell stories and practice speaking. I will feel happy and confident. You smile quietly. Nighttime observations, reflections, and small conversations have strengthened your English today. Simple words, polite sentences, listening carefully, and practicing aloud, even alone, create real growth. Back in your hotel room, you open your notebook and write your final notes for the day. Tonight, I walked slowly. I observed streets, people, and small details. I spoke English aloud. I asked questions. I repeated words. I reflected on my day. I feel happy, confident, and ready for tomorrow. Learning English is natural, step by step. You close your notebook, take a deep breath, and look out at the quiet streets below. You feel calm, proud, and grateful. Every word learned, every sentence spoken, every question asked, and every observation made has made your English stronger today. Step by step, moment by moment, your English will continue to grow naturally and beautifully. As you lie down to sleep, you repeat quietly in your mind. Observe, walk, speak, listen, repeat, question, answer, happy, confident, learn, street, night, calm, practice. You smile. The city sleeps. You sleep too, knowing that tomorrow brings new adventures, new streets, new conversations, and new opportunities to practice English naturally. The morning sun rises slowly, soft and golden. You wake up feeling calm, happy, and a little proud. Today, you take a moment to reflect on everything you have done over the past days, walking the streets, exploring museums, visiting markets, traveling to villages, speaking with people, asking questions, repeating words, and practicing storytelling. Each step, each conversation, each observation was part of your journey. Today, you will think about the lessons learned and how to continue growing naturally in English. You sit by the window with your notebook. You write slowly. English is everywhere. I can learn from streets, shops, people, museums, markets, and cafes. Every conversation is practice. Every word I repeat is stronger. Every question I ask helps me grow. Step by step, day by day, my English improves. Reflection is powerful. You realize that learning English is not about memorizing grammar or studying long hours in a classroom. Real learning happens when you connect words to life. When you observe, ask questions, repeat words, and speak slowly with curiosity and patience, your English grows naturally. You remember the small victories, buying a bus ticket, asking for directions, helping a child, ordering food, speaking with vendors, practicing storytelling in the cafe, describing streets at night, and reflecting on your experiences. Each small action mattered. Each small word mattered. You repeat quietly in your mind: ticket, directions, child, apples, story, cafe, street, night, reflection, practice, confidence, happy. Next, you think about strategies to continue long-term learning. You speak slowly, aloud, practicing sentences naturally. Every day I will speak English, even a little. I will observe my surroundings and describe them in English. I will repeat new words aloud. I will ask questions to people politely. I will listen carefully to conversations. I will tell stories about my day. I will write in my notebook. I will practice slowly, clearly, and naturally. Step by step, my English will grow. You notice something important. Learning English is like exploring a city. Streets are like sentences, shops are like words, people are like new expressions, and experiences are lessons. The more you walk, observe, interact, and practice, the more confident you become. Curiosity is your map, patience is your guide, and speaking is your vehicle. You also reflect on mistakes. Today, you mispronounced words, sometimes didn't understand a question, or paused while speaking. But each mistake was a step forward. Each pause was an opportunity to think and repeat. Each challenge was a lesson. You repeat quietly: mistake, pause, repeat, challenge, lesson, growth, confidence, happy. Mistakes are part of learning, not something to fear. Next, you write a small list of daily habits that helped you improve English naturally. 1. Speak slowly and clearly. 2. Observe surroundings and describe in English. 3. Repeat words and phrases aloud. 4. Ask questions politely. 5. Listen carefully to people and conversations. 6. Tell stories about your day. 7. Reflect in a notebook. 8. Practice consistently, even a little every day. You read the list aloud slowly, practicing pronunciation and sentence flow. Speak slowly and clearly. Observe surroundings. Repeat words. Ask questions. Listen carefully. Tell stories. Reflect. Practice consistently. Each habit connects to action, not just theory. Each habit strengthens natural learning. Next, you think about motivation. You speak aloud. Learning English is a journey. It is not about speed. It is about curiosity, patience, and practice. Every day brings new opportunities. Every conversation, every observation, every reflection helps me improve. I am confident. I am learning. I am growing. You feel a warm feeling inside. You realize that English is more than a language. It is a tool to connect, understand, and experience the world. Step by step, you can communicate, express yourself, solve problems, and tell stories. English allows you to explore not only cities and villages, but also ideas, people, and cultures. Next, you practice a small exercise. Summarize your journey aloud in a few sentences. Hello. I explored the city and outside areas. I visited museums, markets, and villages. I spoke English with shopkeepers, neighbors, and travelers. I asked questions, listened carefully, repeated words, and told stories. I reflected on my day and practiced sentences. I feel happy, confident, and ready to continue learning English every day. Speaking aloud slowly, clearly, and naturally reinforces fluency, memory, and confidence. You notice your pronunciation is smoother, your sentences flow more naturally, and your vocabulary feels alive. Finally, you write a small reflection for long-term growth. Learning English is natural. I practice by observing, speaking, listening, repeating, asking questions, and reflecting. I use English every day in real situations. I tell stories, solve problems, and connect with people. Mistakes are lessons. Patience and curiosity guide me. Step by step, I grow. You close your notebook and take a deep breath. You look outside at the soft morning light, feeling proud, calm, and motivated. Every word learned, every sentence spoken, every small victory contributes to your long-term English growth. You smile quietly and repeat slowly in your mind. Observe, speak, listen, repeat, question, answer, story, reflect, practice, patient, confident, happy, learn, grow. You feel ready for the day ahead, ready for new experiences, new streets, new people, and new opportunities to practice English naturally. Step by step, moment by moment, your English will continue to grow beautifully, confidently, and naturally. And with that, your journey of exploration, conversation, and reflection continues, each day a story, each word a step forward, each interaction a lesson. Thank you so much for joining today's lesson here at Today English Podcast. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below telling me what you want to learn next. Your support helps the channel grow and helps me create more lessons for you. Take care, keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next class.